Yeah, so we'll be showing the general ledger transaction entry screen from Rover Web now. This is actually in test, so it's just about ready for release. Accessible from the accounting page in the GL section. You can go here. So these are restricted to your fiscal year and fiscal periods for the fiscal year transaction dates. We can add a reference. Automatically get a reverse date of next month when we pick the year. And so then this table lets you tab right through, so you can enter things fairly quickly and easily. You don't have to necessarily click around in the interface. We can see that it already tells us too that the debits and credits don't match, to kind of let us know that, hey, we're probably not finished entering this transaction yet. Go ahead and save. We get a confirmation. We can go back, can view it. We can add some attachments if we would like. I don't know what I've got going on here. I'm gonna test. So go do all that, and then just for confirmation, we can go into Rover, see that we do indeed have this transaction. Thank goodness it has an attachment. And we also have the reversal transaction. So yeah, I think that was about it for the transaction entry screen. Unless there's any questions or anything.
What are the lookup options on the account number?
Yeah, right now, so it's kind of just I think just a basic search here on the account number or the actual description here. It's just going to kind of give you a drop down as you start to type, narrowing down whatever that may be.
Cool, thanks.
On top of the new layout we kind of have here, for the buttons, essentially whatever is in the data table, we now have the ability to either print or export anything in here. So I can kind of just show you guys how that works. You can select which columns you want to display, and then from here we can preview it, and everything you see within that data table will come up. And you can have the option to either print, which you can see right here, whatever is in there, or you can export it to a CSV file, which I could show you right here as well. Comes up with all the data. So you have some options there. And then from there, we even have the ability that, let's say you want to just do closed statuses, right? We'll apply that filter in the table, and then we have only the closed statuses coming up. So from here, we'll print that, preview, and then you can see right here, everything coming back is just closed. And then same idea, right? Just print, export, whatever you need. And we have that in all the sales tables so far, both in the sales side and also in the customers side of the web client as well. So it's working in both the same way. And yeah, it's pretty simple, but I think it'll be a pretty neat little feature coming up for everyone to start using. What I have here is some enhancements we've pretty much made to the opportunities section of the sales module. And this was pretty much feedback that I worked through with Corey and Bill. So we essentially kind of cleaned up the layout a little bit, changed a little bit of the labeling to make it make a little bit more sense. And the most noticeable thing you can see up here is the progress bar, which I'll go over in a little bit. We also thought it would be best to move the save button to the bottom right, since when you're tabbing through this flow, it you know, could be a little bit to just go back to the top right and then click to save up there. You kind of maybe a user will get lost in the flow, right? And so another thing we added is this split button down here. Before, it was in the top right under the save button, and it was kind of like a little difficult to see it. So from here we can oops, let's see, we can create a quote from here, and then it'll take you here, fill in all the custom information with IDs and stuff. And you can also link an existing quote to your opportunity. So that functionality is hooked up as well. And so the main thing we have with this status bar up here is we pretty much have all these statuses that are coming back. And so we thought it would make sense to visually display where the status is for the opportunity. So when you have no contact, you would see that nothing's kind of filled in, and you know, you have a no contact yet up there, and then you have contact made, serious interest, and then anything after that is the end of the opportunity. So it's either closed or you can have it as sold, right? And it's just a neat little way of making it so that you know, just we can see the stages of an opportunity rather than just kind of selecting it in a drop down, and gives the user a more visual look at how things are with an opportunity. So that's pretty much a breakdown of everything we've introduced so far.
So in point of sale, we've got kind of a couple new things going on. The first being that here, when I create an order, and I'm just going to do to default most of these things. If I create the order, will automatically be pushed into the orders tab once the order's been created, so that we can go ahead and ship it. So, and that's kind of new. Before, we kind of had this landing page which forced you to click a button to decide to ship it. Now you're there, and you can either, you know, just finish the transaction here and not do anything with it, but it also gives the option to ship the order and to ship a partial order, which is really the main new feature here. So there are a couple things to note here. One is that you can update the ship quantity. So if I had, you know, 4 cap 11s, I could choose to ship 2, I could choose to ship 3, I could choose to ship however many I want. And I can also create a PO for that specific line item. If there is a flag checked off in Rover, it will require you to select a vendor for non-stock items, because those are non-stocked items. So you just start typing, it will autocomplete with a list, and you can select that. Right now the PO is having an error getting created, but you basically ship this order, and that will automatically bring you into the invoices page if an invoice has been created. So because this order has been partially shipped, you can see that the line spacing is a bit off, but you can see that we've got the total that was shipped, and then we've also got the source order total, which is how much the complete order is. So this was added in the case that somebody wants to pay for an invoice, and they also want to overpay so that they can apply credit to the rest of the order once it ships. So if we add, let's do that again. If we add, you know, more, it's just because we wanna have some credit. We could submit these payments, and apparently we can't. Could be my VPN timed out. It's been having issues, but essentially, you could create that. You could submit that payment, and you'll see this little line added. That's an on-account record will be created, and it will automatically be applied to the source order, so that when that ships, it'll automatically have that amount applied to it. Again, this is a pretty it's a pretty local environment, so things are a bit wonky, but that's essentially it. Any questions?
The use case here was this particular customer wanted to take a deposit on those items that were being ordered where a PO was being issued. So that's sort of the
Correct.
idea behind showing the total order amount and the amount that you had shipped, and then they're make a decision to on the fly determine what that deposit amount should be. There's been discussion that we could add some logic around that as well if needed.
Yep. That is essentially what's happening here. So yeah, the couple things to note are the ability to ship a partial order, the ability to apply a credit memo to an order from a payment, and the just the ease of use that we have now for as it automatically flows from one step of the process into the other. So those are three big items that will be coming with this release.
Okay, so essentially one of the new things we've added is, so when you add items to the cart, we've sort of changed the cart experience just a bit. We've added the ability to add line item notes, and also if there is a custom field, we've added it into the sort of line item section. And some of the things we've done is, so you have to sort of commit the changes. So you can't just make a change just within the line item. And so it's a small but really important change we've had to make, but that's one of them. The other items we've had is in the order information. We've added the ability to view a lot more items. So some optional information we've added is ship date, book date, pay terms, the ship via, rate amount, and tax codes. And these are all configured in MRK control. And we've also done some cleanup in the company code. And generally, we're just sort of just cleaning up the UI, but not a ton of new visual changes. Most of the changes we've sort of added recently are a lot of under the hood, but pretty significant for a lot of the integration work we're doing.
Christian, is the consolidation of the detail line view working there too, where when you click on a line, it's opening it up in the cart view?
Oh yeah, I'm sorry. That is something we've added. So if you just select on the item itself, it opens up just this one item, and it automatically puts it in the edit mode.